should you go for the Walther PDP Pro SD or the all-new Springfield Echelon? With these two pistols, Walther offers a ton of different options as far as for the Pro SD. However, the Pro SD model itself is extremely rare and very hard to get a hold of. So if you ever see one, probably should, think about getting one. But that being said, the designs that come on the Pro SD model set it apart from the regular PDP because it's got a magwell, their performance trigger in here. In addition to that, it comes with magazines that have steel or aluminum base pads on them as well, which fit nice. And with this magazine in particular, in this model, this is an 18-round magazine. However, they do have 20-round magazines as well. So 18-round magazine with this, you can get 20-round extension ones, okay? But then with your Echelon, this has a 17-round standard capacity, or you can get the 20-round with the extended base pad on there. With the Echelon, it comes with the extension, so you can actually add that 3 rounds to your 17-round magazine. And in addition to that, there are some things that lately I've been seeing on the internet about the magazines exploding on the Echelon. I've done a ton of reload drills with these, fully loaded. I've done tack reloads and everything under the sun as far as reloads go. And I think that as long as you put your 20-round magazine together properly, I don't see that issue happening. I haven't personally experienced it, so I can't speak on it. Magazine quality on the Walthers are fantastic. They are the Metgar style branded magazines, and they are really, really good magazines. They're very well made. The Echelon so far, they seem good. They're very similar to a SIG 320 magazine. Those two magazine companies or brands do not interchange, however. Now, with these two pistols and magazines, the magazine release button is a nice rounded serrated style here on your Walther or the Walther PDP Pro. And then with the magazine release style on the Echelon, it is more of like a oval style that has actual like a grip texture that comes out to it that keeps you from hitting it under recoil, and it's easy to press whether you're right-handed or left-handed. So it is an ambi magazine release. Most ambi magazine releases I absolutely hate, and they usually work like crap. However, this one is the exception. That does not happen with this pistol. Now, the magazine release can be swapped on your Walther pistols, so it can be left or right-handed. However, as it sits on the pistol, it is not ambi, okay? It is just singular left or right-handed. So, but overall, both of these pistols, I'm able to hit that button without ever breaking my grip with both these pistols, which I really like for full-size pistols. That's what's really nice to see and what I expect. However, SIG 320s, I generally have to break my grip to hit that button. And out of all the pistols I shoot a 320 the most because it's what I carry for duty use. Now, slide serrations on the two of these are hands down the absolute best factory slide serrations from major manufacturers. Shadow Systems makes really good slide serrations. However, the size of their company is not the size of Walther, and it's not the size of Springfield. So for major manufacturers that are well established, these two pistols have the absolute best slide serrations on the market. The Walther PDPs on this pistol in general are a little bit chunky, frankly. They come out almost from the slide versus going into the slide and reducing the overall circumference or dimensions of the slide. They're very good, they're honed, they're not too aggressive, and they're very easy to grip. But then on the Echelon, they have their patent pending trench design, which actually flares back into where your chamber is, and it's very easy for doing press checks. And on the back, it's flared on the rear of the pistol, so if you're gripping it and ripping it on the rear of the pistol, you don't have any issues with slippage. I really don't see that so much with the Walther either because they're very good slide serrations. So if you're somebody that wants overtly aggressive slide serrations, the Walther PDP Pro SD would be for you. And then the Echelon has very aggressive slide serrations that are not overt. They're more or less machined down into the slide versus, out of the slide per se. I prefer the slide serrations on the Springfield Echelon over the PDP just because there's more of them. How it actually flares down into the chamber is very intuitive and easy to use. And then the flaring on the back is nice as well. Okay, I'm somebody, you're gripping it over the top, but even with that, my hand, when it grips, my index finger here on my support hand hits that flare, and my palm also catches on that. Coming over the top on the Walther, I can hardly actually feel those slide serrations versus what I feel on the Echelon with this optic. Going in to the optic and how they're machined into the slide. The Walther style, if you're not familiar with it, has recoil bosses built into it for a plate system that they use where you do not get the plate with the pistol. You have to send the pistol or send a code out and everything like that to Walther, and then they ship you the plate. I've owned 2 Walther pistols in the PDP variant. One of them I sent the code out to get a plate for it, never received the plate, never had any response from customer service at Walther, and frankly just never put an optic on it because it pissed me off that much. The Pro SD, sent it out for the plate for an RMR style plate, got it in within less than a week, so super happy about that. However, in the past I had issues and customer service never did get back to me. But you are then stuck ultimately with that optic with whether RMR, Acro, or whatever design plate you want. They're good, they're machined well, they fit well, there's recoil bosses, everything like that is fine. However, the fact that you have to send it out and get the plate is somewhat of an annoyance to me because the plates for most pistols are like $30 plates, you know, and these 2 pistols themselves are relatively the same price, close to $700, a little bit more, or a little bit less. And I wish it would just come with it, or better yet, have a plate or let's say optic mounting design like the Echelon has, where you don't have to send anything out. It has recoil bosses that you can ultimately change around in the pistol and mount up to 30 different optics without the use of any plates whatsoever. I ordered another Echelon pistol and just recently got it in, and also then ordered the Acro style plate from Springfield, which actually has recoil bosses machined into the bottom, so that doesn't use any of the pins that the Viz system has with the Echelon. It mounts directly to that, so in the future I'll mount that up there, be able to show you guys. But today, RMR on here, it's solid, it's mounted. I've racked this pistol a ton off barricades and objects, shot it a lot and had no issues with loss to zero. I haven't dropped it or anything like that. There's people out there that do that stuff for testing on videos, and I'm glad they do it so that I don't have to screw up my pistols doing it. Both of these solid systems themselves, however, the Viz system that's on the Echelon, in my opinion, is superior than what you're getting on the PDP. In addition to that, the Viz system that they use on the Echelon, full co-witness with standard height iron sights here, which are also steel on your Echelon, versus the plastic adjustable ones, which are Glock style on your PDP Pro, which, if you can see it well enough, do not co-witness very well, if at all, through this pistol. I get like a, we'll call it like a lower 1/16 co-witness with the iron sights, okay? Deck height on this Holosun 508T is identical to what you're getting from the Trijicon RMR. And so you would think that you would be able to get co-witness. However, because of the plate that goes on here, it adds like a whole 1/8 of an inch of thickness to that. And so although it's really deep into the slide, the cut itself, and actually deeper than what you get on the Echelon, that plate takes up so much space that you no longer get co-witness. So if you really want true co-witness like you're getting with the Echelon, you got to spend extra money, get steel sights after the factory as an aftermarket option to have that. So with these 2 pistols, they have the best striker fired triggers on the market. Canik makes an awesome trigger as well, which is nearly identical to what Walther has. The Walther PDP Pro trigger or even the PDP trigger are both fantastic. They usually feature some take-up. There's usually some take-up in there, a clear and defined wall with no mush, creep, or anything whatsoever at the wall, and then it breaks. The trigger in this pistol is 4 pounds, okay? The trigger in the Echelon, you'll see some take-up, okay? Take-up, a little bit of mush, and then a defined wall, and then it breaks crisp and clean. I'd say it's closer to like 4.5 to 5 pounds, so it's a little bit on the heavier side. However, defensive use, this one's fine. I would say I prefer the trigger on the PDP Pro over it. Also too, because reset on the PDP Pro is less than 1/4 of an inch. It's very, very short, okay? Take-up on the 2 of them is about the same. However, the reset on the Springfield Echelon is quite a bit longer than what you're getting on the PDP Pro SD or even the regular PDP pistols themselves. It's a little bit longer. Both of them though have really good striker fired triggers, and they're easily the best ones on the market, and you know, between the 2 of them, they feel great. Takedown systems on the 2 of these are different. You do have to pull the trigger in order to take down the Walther PDP series pistols. The Echelon, you do not have to do that. Turn takedown lever, actually slide the slide off like you would do on a SIG 320. And these also have the chassis design that's very similar to a 320 pistol versus a Walther that does not. So you cannot change grip modules and all that jazz with the PDP Pro. but you can with the Echelon. So you can get different grip sizes that would fit the shooter themselves. Now, grip texturing wise, I would say that I prefer the grip textures on the PDP Pro or PDP pistols more so than what's on the Echelon, because they're a little bit more aggressive. And I really do like the hexagonal pattern that it uses, checking across the back strap and everything like that. And then both pistols have changeable back straps for different sizes. And then grip angle wise, the grip angle on the PDP is a little bit more 1911-ish versus a, let's say, a little bit more, say, angled grip than that. Okay, but they're not all that much different. The two pistols themselves are nearly identical in size. And then in addition to that though, on the Echelon, on the bottom of the pistol, they both feature somewhat of a cutout here for your middle finger when you're gripping the pistol. However, there is texturing on the Echelon that feels really nice on that undercut on the trigger guard versus what the Walther does not have, which is that. Both of them have similar length pick rails on the front for mounting your lights. Both these pistols have Streamlight TLR1 HLs, because when we shoot this comparison, we'll shoot both of these outside. You'll get to view how the two of them shoot. Both pistols I've shot extensively here in the past, and out of the gate, before going out here and shooting both of these, I can tell you that the Echelon does feel somewhat softer recoiling and more forgiving under recoil versus the PDP. Now the PDP shoots really well. I shoot it really well and I really, really like them. However, I can't sit here and not say that the Echelon doesn't feel more forgiving under recoil because it does have a lower bore axis. The bore axis is not everything. However, it does make a difference under recoil, and especially when you're shooting fast. Between that though, they're both absolutely excellent pistols. So let's get out on the range, shoot the two of them side by side, and give you guys some range thoughts. For our comparison, I've already actually shot the Walther PDP a little bit in a previous video that we were just working on. So I'm gonna start off this video shooting the Echelon, and then we'll go into comparing the two of them side by side after a couple magazines. The next one we're gonna shoot this Walther PDP Pro SD after that Echelon. The Echelon, you know, if you saw our initial review when those were released, a lot of people were like, oh, you get paid for that, blah, 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 blah. Well, my opinion is, if you don't believe us, go out and shoot one yourself. Tell us your thoughts, because it's very hard for me not to like that pistol. It's a very, really good shooting pistol, and it shoots flat. It's just an easy shooting pistol. So we'll shoot this PDP Pro after this. I've always been a huge fan of the PDP series in general, and the Pro is definitely one of my favorite pistols as well. In all honesty, it's really hard for me to sit here and say one is better than the other, because honestly, both of these pistols are just that good as far as for iterations for striker fired handguns. And, you know, they both shoot so darn well. Even, you know, I'll say maybe muzzle flip wise, the PDP, I can really feel that more so than what I can with the Echelon. It's just not so much there with the Echelon like it is with the PDP. Trigger wise, the PDP's trigger is better. I can definitely feel that, especially when you're going through repetitive shots and things like that. I can tell that difference. It's not like the trigger on that Echelon's bad. It's really good. It's just, it's not quite PDP Pro level. It's definitely better, I think, in my opinion, than the standard PDP trigger. But with these two pistols being relatively the same price, especially if you can find a Pro model, the PDP Pro's trigger is a little better, no doubt. But that Echelon and how it feels in your hand, like grip wise, I don't know whether it's because how low it sits in your hand. It doesn't feel like it want to flip back on you really as much as the PDP Pro does. I gotta be completely honest, I don't think I've ever had such a hard time differentiating between which two I like shooting more or which two feel better shooting. I mean, they just both shoot so damn well. Both of these pistols, and both of them have such good triggers. You know, like I said, the Walther's is a little better, but this one's really damn good too. And it's just hard trying to choose between two of them. I mean, really, to make the average person do that just feels wrong because they both shoot so well. Weight-wise, they're nearly identical. You know, overall size, they're nearly identical. The Walther's a little bit chunkier per se, but overall grip, just a lot of things about these. You know, this one's got a mag well and stuff like that on it, but this one being beveled how it is, it's really not a slouch either. You know, I think I like the button a little bit more for reloads on the Walther PDP because of the overall size. However, this one on the Echelon is really good, and it's also ambi, which is a good thing to see. Now, gas pedal wise, the Echelon itself has like gas pedal designs on each side that you can really feel under recoil and when you're trying to get a good grip on the pistol. And especially today, I mean, we were talking, it's like humid, it's hot. I mean, I think my shirt's turned like 15 different shades of green because it's so sweaty out today. And this thing is just, it stays locked in your hands. And I mean, even, you know, the Walther does well too, but it's, for a newcomer to the game, if you're somebody looking at one of these, don't sleep on it. If you're somebody that's never shot a PDP, you should get one. Both of these are, in my opinion, if I was to wrap this review up right now, and I'm not, I'd tell you to get both of them just because of how well both of them shoot. And on top of that, I couldn't say you would go wrong with either one of these options. And it's the same concept if you saw our Canic first PDP review. Both of those pistols are fantastic and you couldn't go wrong. It's the same concept with these two. So I'll shoot them a little bit more and I'll wrap it up for you guys. Yeah, after shooting these side by side and on the move, the Echelon definitely more forgiving after recoil. And if you're looking for ultimate speed and forgiveness under recoil and trigger presses and all that stuff, the Echelon, in my opinion, for me, it definitely beats out the Walther PDP as far as for the two of them when it comes to that. The trigger's better on the PDP. I like the grip textures better. However, if I had to pick between the two of them, and even like, you know, let's say you give it a couple years and the Echelon's got this legitimate track record and it's proven and all this nonsense, okay, that everybody wants. I would probably pick the Springfield Echelon over the PDP as my next duty pistol. And that, for me, says a lot. What's crazy, too, is that these pistols, when they come out and things like that, and in particular Springfield Armory, because they do these media blitzes, they get bad and good publicity because there's people that they don't take them seriously because there's so many people out there and you get all these free pistols out in the market and all that, and these people are shooting them, and we are one of those, okay? And then people all of a sudden then don't want to believe that it's either just that good or it's bad, okay? And really, I'm here to say that the Springfield Echelon is a very, very legitimate duty pistol. And in fact, if I had to pick a duty pistol right now on the market outside of my beloved Shadow Sisters pistols, the Springfield Echelon would likely get my pick over the Walther PDP Pro SD. And the Walther PDP Pro SD is good. So I mean, honestly, for me, you got your Shadow Systems, you got your Echelon, PDP, SIG 320, and then your Glocks, standard Glocks, you know, and then Smith & Wessons are down there somewhere because I'm just not personally a fan. But the Springfield Echelon, in this comparison, for me, I prefer shooting it. I prefer the trigger on the PDP Pro, but I definitely prefer the Springfield Echelon over the Walther PDP Pro SD, and that pistol is absolutely fantastic. So at the end of the day, guys, although I prefer and like the Echelon over the PDP Pro for a litany of reasons, that doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean it's bad even a little bit. It's one of the absolute best striker fire pistols on the market. It's just that the Echelon has some things it does not, and on top of that, it's brand new to the market, and they took a pistol and took what other companies did wrong, made them better. Excellent optics, mounting design, grip, sights, trigger, everything on this pistol, full package. So if you want to go out to the range, find two awesome striker fire pistols, the Walther PDP Pro SD or the all new Springfield Echelon. But until next time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.